Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Morning Leap. This is our pre-market trading plan set up for Wednesday, January the 20th. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder and head moderator of Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap is a subscription service. We do live trading and these pre-market sessions live every morning. If you want to join us, I'll put up my contact info in just 1 second. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within the self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. If you want to contact me, give me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website. This is not a commercial venture. And then my other contact information. Let's take a look at yesterday. So what did I do with that? Did I close it down? Hold on a second. I got to open up yesterday's again. Sorry. So yesterday we were talking about that 91 level and whether or not we stayed above the 91 level or got below it. We said if we got below the 91 level that we would likely rotate between the 49.75 and the 91 level and get a rotational day. And basically we did exactly that. And just rotated back and forth. It was actually a good trading day. It was the moves were fairly decent and well set up. I missed the middle. I had to run out for a couple hours and really missed the trade that I was looking for, which was the move to take out the overnight low down at the 1870. Got down to our trade level, just above our trade level at 55 and a quarter. Got down to the 56. Hit our target of that 57.50 CHVN, rotated back up into the close, and it looked like they were going to hold value. But like I said yesterday, if you look at the change in the bonds and you look at the COT report, it was really looking like there was a flight to safety and that we were likely in danger of moving down lower. Well, last night we had a big move down, but we're going to get into that in just a minute. Let's just take a look at a couple of things. News came out obviously this morning. We had building permits. We're actually up 1.23 versus 1.20 million expected. CPI came out slightly less than expected. Core CPI, same thing, and housing starts came out slightly less than expected. We do have the Bank of Canada. Now, next week we have the Fed announcement. Sometimes the Bank of Canada will precede that with a move of their own. So 10 o'clock, the bank rate statement could be something of a catalyst, see if they increase the bank rate or they hold it the same, and that would likely be in line with what the Fed is going to do next week. 10:30 we've got crude inventories, and then 11:15 we've got the Bank of Canada conference, and that's about the news for the day. Of course, we do have earnings. Now, earnings have not been that bad. Most of the earnings, the big ones, have come out pretty decent. I mean, you look at Goldman Sachs, and Goldman Sachs killed it. Estimated at 3.79, came out at 4.68. So TD Ameritrade, came out 39 versus 36. I mean, we're not getting terrible earnings. So this move down is, I think, premeditated by the banks. It's my own personal belief, and we'll see if we find some support from here and then start to bounce. But we are at a critical junction right now because we're coming close we came down last night. I actually, I'll show you where I got short. I got short with the break right here, down below the LVN from the yesterday's RTH session at 78.25. I actually shorted 77.50, and I got a nice move down, and then I did it again when we came up and rejected the LVN, and then I added into it down here. I actually posted it in the room saying that at the time the developing value area low was, I think, 51.25. I said if we break out of that value that we'd get a bigger move down. Well, they flushed it. There was a huge gap down here, and we flushed it right down to 42. Held it for a while. I finally ended up closing my position out at 39.25, and went to bed. Of course, I missed another big move, but you just can't stay awake, forever. And then we got down. We tested that over the 2015 low. Remember our 2015 year low is at 1831. We came down there. The buyer stepped in. We actually dipped slightly below it to 29.25, and then slowly worked our way up, and currently trading 46. 47 and above, and we still have that key line in the sand, which is at 48.75. But we've got this LVN that starts right here at basically 47.25, all the way up to 50. So if we get above this overnight developing value high at 46.75 and get into this zipper, we're above the Keltner center line, we're above the VWAP, we're above the VPOC, and we're breaking back outside of the value. We could get a quick move up here for 3 or 4 points. So keep an eye on that. I can't trade it right now because I'm talking, but you could probably get a nice trade there if that happens right now. So let's just step back for a minute and take a look at where we are at in terms of the trends. I'd like to start with a daily a candlestick chart with a monthly, with a 9 EMA, 20 SMA. Those are the moving averages that I use. I'm looking for slope and separation and where trend is being challenged or violated. You can see that we're now below the 9 and the 20 and coming down to this August low. Where was it? October low, down at the 1831 area. It's pretty ugly. I'm sorry, right here. It was August. I was looking at the prior year, which prior year low in 14, I should say, is down at 1732. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. But regardless, the trend itself has obviously been violated. And if we go down to the weekly, you can see that we do have a trend on the weekly going down. Still a big technical gap here. So still expecting a bounce. I just don't know where it's going to come from, but the weekly is down. The daily is a little bit different on the daily because the daily keeps coming up and closing the technical gap, and price is paralleling the 9, but the slope is getting pretty steep right now. But this is also indicative of a trend down. So where we find support is going to be interesting. I think today is going to be a critical day, but we have slope and separation, trend to the downside. Going into the intraday to see where we are, again, you can see that we've had this big trend down, and they keep trying to stall it and break it, but they keep failing, and we got slope and separation again, and we are getting a technical gap here coming into today's RTH session. Going to the 30-minute, we did find some support, and we've bounced a bit, and we're above the 9 and the 20. key failure point for us is going to be the first one's going to be down here at 40, but the big one's going to be the 34. 34.75, but I'm watching the 32. But you could pre-run it. I'll show you when we get into the structure. But the trend is being challenged and violated to the downside. Going to the 15-minute, you can see that we're getting a slope and separation to the upside, and we could see a bounce from here and continuation up. Going to the 5-minute, same thing. We've got upward slope and separation. We are coming back. We're losing a little bit of slope here, and we're testing the 9 EMA right now at 1943. So we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be an interesting morning. So I want to take a look at the structure. Of course, we're going to have a huge gap down. I don't know how big of the gap is going to be, but our close yesterday is 1873.75, which was right between the close on Friday and the pause on Monday. The pause on Monday was 73. The close on Friday was 75.50. So we closed right basically where we, in between where we closed Friday and where we paused yesterday. But the close at 1873.75, and we're currently trading 1843.75. So approximate half gap is going to bring us to the 1858.75. Our gap is, over 30 points, or they're about 30 points. Don't expect the gap to get filled. It's, you have to put gap rules into effect, and I would say it's a lower probability. It's not without realm of possibility, because our daily ATR upside target is only 4 points from that. 1869.25 is our daily upside ATR. But we're currently down here in this low volume area of long-term price acceptance. We've got that key level above us at 48.75. If we do not get above that, we're likely to rotate down towards this 32, which is going to be my key line in the sand below us. And if we don't hold 32, then I think we're going to come down here and test this microcomposite value area that we were in back in 2014, which has the value area high at 24.75, value area low at 83, with the next big target, the microcomposite VPOC here at 1811.25. So I think it's going to be a choppy day, and I'm basically using 48.75 as my key guide in terms of long or short. Below 48.75, I'm expecting rotational day with the downside bias to test this 32. If we break it, obviously come down and take out the overnight low at 25, come down and test this first target below. That's going to be 27, but 24.75, and then inside of 24.75, I think we get the bigger move down into the the 1811 area. If we can get ourselves back above 48, then we might claw our way up into the 57 and possibly even into the 67, with maybe getting up into the gap close. The 2-day microcomposite, where they tried to hold value yesterday, is at 72, and our close, of course, is at 73.75. I think we're going to see further weakness. I think they're going to try to rally, but they're going to fail somewhere. And 2 points I'd be looking at is the 48.75, the 57.50 to 59. But if they get above 59, I think we could get that move up into the 60s again, and probably close somewhere in around the 67 and a quarter area. But if they can't hold above this 40 area, then I think they work their way down into the 32, and then anything below 32, I think we get capitulation. We've got to start looking at, we're not there yet, but our open of the week, I'm sorry, of our month is up at 2037.75. So it's looking more with, basically a week. How many days we got left? Today is the 20th. So with about 10 days left, we still have a chance, but I think it's unlikely that we go up and test that 2037.75 month open and year open. So we're going to end up with a negative January. Just how low are they going to let it go? So again, 48.75 key line of sand above, 32 key line in the sand below, and your warning line is going to be 34.50. I'll show you why in just a minute. So looking at the overnight stuff, we've got a B-shaped profile here, very little volume here. Everything you can see, the support came in at that 40 level overnight. So I do think that we are going to see that 40 level again in the RTH open if we don't get above that 48.75. Our overnight VPOC is not likely to shift unless we come down to this 40 level again. We still have time to do it, but so far right now the overnight VPOC is 44. And we're trading right there. Our overnight high obviously is way up there at 1878.50, just above the floor pivot. And our overnight low is down at 29 and a quarter. And you see we have this big cluster right here. I want to talk about this cluster. And, you can see right here overnight we've got an LVN at 34.75. I'm going to put a trade area there because if we get below the 34.75, we got our weekly ATR target down there at 33.50, so it's definitely a target. We've got the key line in the sand at 32. We've got the 2015 low of the year, and we've got our overnight low at 29.25. So I think that if we get below that 34.75, we're going to see a flush down to this level again. Our daily ATR target off the overnight high has already been violated at 38.50. So we've already had range extension. We had a 49 and a quarter point Globex range. I keep saying it, gang, if you're not trading the Globex, you're missing some big opportunities now. The Globex is where they're making big moves, and you could really make your day and bank a lot of profits. So above the, above here, let's do the downside first. So below, there's really not a lot here. I don't really need, I know where my levels are here. I know where my levels are here and here, so I don't really need this. So let's bring this and take a look at the longer picture. So below us right here, we have a trade area at 40.50. And then the target below that is going to be the 35.75, just above our warning line. I'm going to label this so that you know what I mean by it, or it's identified. And then, if we get below that, I'm really thinking that we come down and test the 32, but I don't think it's going to hold. They've already breached it overnight. We do have to be cognitive of it, but it is my key line in the sand below it. I'd be looking for the overnight low to be taken out and come down here into test this 2475. And this is a long-term microcomposite value area high. And if we don't bounce from there, then I'm looking for a move into 18. And then the next big target below, which is, I'm just going to front run it just by a couple ticks. And below that, you've got, just below, you've got the 1075, but then there's really not much down here between the 1075, and I think you get into this area, the key number is going to be down here at this 1875, and then below that, you've got 1795. So I think we're going to get down here today. I don't know. I don't think so, but I got to start thinking about the 1700s. Then below there, we've got 1790, 70, 75, and then we're testing the next key support level is going to be the 1783 and a quarter. And below that, then we've got 80, 75, 78, 50. So I would expect a bounce right in this area if we get down here, but if we get below that, then you've got 75. And 69 and a quarter. I don't think I need to go down any further from there. When we get down below the 70 level, I will be adjusting my composite to bring in, more data. I mean, if you look at the monthly, well, maybe I don't have to. I really don't have to until we get down to, I guess, yeah, 1600 level. I thought it was a little bit higher. Well, I would want to bring in below the, my start date is the beginning of 2013. So 2013, yeah, we get into the lower 1700s. I'm going to have to bring in 2012. Amazing. So those are the levels I'm looking at below. So above 48, 75. Like I said, the LVN starts at 47 and a quarter. So if you wanted to try to front run that, there is a very low volume level, but to be safe, I'd be looking at the 48.50, and then the target is going to be right above at that 50 because that's where that LVN stops. In fact, I'm going to put that as a trade area and a target. But I will take the 48.75 into the 50. I probably won't front run and take above 47 unless I get a clear level. But above there, there's really nothing, up there until we get into the 55, 75, and I'm actually going to use the 56 and a quarter. The approximate half gap is now shifted because we're now at 40. You see how we're coming down to this 42 level. The half gap, we're running 42.75 right now, and 73.75 closed divided by 2 is still going to be in the 58 area. So I'm just going to put the I'm going to put it at 58. just I'll adjust it based on the open. Edit preferences. But again, you got to be thinking of gap rules, and this gap is not likely to be come on. All right, and then if we do get inside of yesterday's range, then I'd be looking at a little bit of resistance here at 59.50, a little 59.75. There's a little LVN there, and then the target above is going to be this 63.75, and then 67.50. And then if we get above 67.50, then we're coming into our daily ATR target, and you've got 72, and then 73, 75, and 74 is going to be your big target above. And then remember, you've got that 72 microcomposite VPOC is right at the value area low. So if they come up here and they don't reject it, we accept it, we will move into that 74, and then 76, 75. I'm going to actually use 76 because it's the midpoint, and above that you take out the overnight high at 78, and above that VWAP from yesterday, I think we actually come up into this 82.25. Remember, 82.25 was our 2-day microcomposite VPOC before it shifted up to the 86.50, which is your next target. And then your value area high from yesterday. And I highly doubt that we're going to make this big a move back up, but you never know with the ranges. Then you've got the 92, and then 95.50, and then I think that you go up, and our weekly ATR target has now been adjusted down to 1903.25, but you've got 1900 just in front of it, so I'd be front running it. And I don't think we're going to get much more than that today. So again, my main hypothesis is going to center around the 48 and the 32. So 30 with 34.50 being my warning line, but I'm looking for a rotational day in between these two levels. Okay, unless we get above 48. If we get above 48, then I'm looking for a slow grind up into the 57, maybe into the 60s, but not much more than that. If we do not hold the 40-50 level, look to see if they come down to that warning line at 34.75, and if that fails, I'm really looking for them to test the 32 key line in the sand and then break it. And below that, it's how low do we go? Do we bounce off of the 24.75? If we don't, move down into the 18 and the 11 area, with the 11 being the next big destination below. Take a look at the Keltner. Keltner right now, the overnight VPOC is 44, same as the 44.25, same thing as the Keltner center line. We're just trading above it. The developing value area is 46.50. Remember, I said that 47, you could look to front run it, but a break above the 48.75 should take us up into the 50.25 upper Keltner line. If we get below the Keltner center line, a move down to take out the overnight or the Keltner lower line right now is going to take us into that 38.50 and our daily ATR downside target. It gets pretty muddled in here below it, so this is a big cluster area. So use the 40 as your first warning line, but anything below that 34.75 is going to give us some pretty good indication that we're going down. I went long gold last night, and we got into the 1100s, but we failed. I actually closed it out at 1103, 1130, I should say. We've got this 1140 key CLVN. It is our value area high for the microcomposite, and the key CLVN, if we can get above that and stay in the 1100s, I'm looking for a move up into the 1106. If you see that flush in the indices down below that key line in the sand, we should see that 1106.30 today. If not, even move up a little bit. We've had a big move overnight, so I'm not looking for a lot more extension in gold. But again, here we are testing the overnight high. I'm going to have to take this call, so I'm just going to put this on pause for 1 second.